Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, chat monitors, for your help. I appreciate it. Hi, Glorious E, Loretta Sharenzi, Patricia Epperson, everyone, hi. Today's Tuesday, so unless something major happens later, the fruitcake guy may declare another emergency. You never know. I don't think so, but I'll come back on or release a video. Having said that, if anyone would like a reading from me, I repeat this every day. You know where to find my information, so please feel free to call or go click on my link. We can talk. Having said that, you know, I'm sure all of you heard last night what Fruitcake did. He basically, in some ways, admonished Iran for not signing a deal with him and make him look like a failure. And then he ordered everyone to leave Tehran. You know, there are a couple of things going on here. Fruitcake is worse now than ever before, mentally. The people, the leaders he was dealing with yesterday were not very kind with him. If you guys notice Haqqani, the Prime Minister of Canada, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, that's why I'm making sure you guys know who I'm talking about, basically shut down the news conference that they were having because Fruitcake was being embarrassing. And if you look at the face of the Italian Prime Minister, Nemoni, I don't remember her name. I'm not even quite sure how to pronounce it, but the lady who's Prime Minister of Italy, she was talking to Macron. Yes, they were talking about Fruitcake and how dumb he is. He was very uncomfortable, just how Fruitcake that it was very uncomfortable among those leaders because they didn't disrespect them outright, like I said yesterday. You know, underhandedly, they asked him questions he couldn't answer or repeat a whole bunch of baloney, okay, that made no sense. And they called him out in a nice way to make him feel inadequate. He couldn't get pissed off because, you know, he didn't want to look inferior and not knowing what he was talking about. So he was going along with it and bailed out the first opportunity he got, which is, I have an emergency, I have to go. Intuitively, this is all baloney. Yes, he's meeting with his cabinet this morning. It's because he can, and he knows a bunch of lowlives, like I've told you since last January. People like dictators, that's what they do. They encircle themselves with a bunch of incompetent people, and they can treat them like garbage because they are in those positions, not because they are qualified, but because they're going to do his or her bidding. Well, I don't think we've ever had, well, I can't speak for prehistoric or before the 1700s, I guess, 1600s. I don't remember ever hearing of a woman who's a dictator. But anyway, he called them to meet this morning because he wants to be, he's behaving like a dictator. But not because anything came out that he did not know about Iran, how far Iran has gotten into developing nuclear weapons. If you guys watched Iran's behavior over the past couple of days, the way they are answering to Israel. I mean, don't get me wrong. War is war, regardless of the intensity. Okay, people are dying, and who needs this? But they could do a lot more damages. And I'm not saying they won't do it. That's very much in play. But it feels like to me they want to make a deal, but they're not gonna act afraid or anything of that sort. They're gonna stay in the fight until there is a real opportunity for them to cool things off. But what Fruitcake is doing, calling meetings and everything, watch. He's a coward. Once he senses pushback, he backs down. And this morning, first of all, Congress, the only people who have power to declare war or do anything is Congress. You guys know better than I do, okay? And I was reading it. Like I said, I'm not seeing World War III. I can't exclude us, be part of some kind of action over there, but I don't see a war. Us being in a war, not this week anyway. Okay, I'm not seeing it yet. Something may happen, but Congress doesn't want to go there. And intuitively, I feel Fruitcake is adding one more thing for when the opportunity comes to impeach him. But him leaving Canada in such a hurry had nothing to do with any emergencies. He did it because he could. The guy's an idiot, incompetent, stupid. He doesn't know what he's doing. And I don't know how many of you, I saw a clip of Trump saying, I didn't see the beginning of the clip. And I'm sure some of you probably saw it. He was on Fox talking about something to the effect that if Mexico was to make a move against us in any way, shape, or form, his father would retaliate, with extreme force. And all Americans would side with his father. I doubt that. But the reason why I'm bringing that up, okay, a lot of those dictators, if they have sons, you can tell when they feel comfortable. It's a big mistake. What Eric is doing is a major mistake, major no-no, because you become a target too. And I'll tell you, intuitively I feel, there is going to be a time, there's no doubt in my mind they're going to continue because that's the way they are. They are dumb, all of them. They're going to go out thinking we are invincible. There is no such thing. Yes, we have the most, an amazing military. But that's no reason to go and threaten anyone. That's why other administrations, they didn't do that. People make mistakes, they might say something and then they apologize later. But those idiots, to make a statement like that against Mexico, are you kidding me? And how many Mexicans, people of Mexican descent in our military? And they are all over our, we've been cohabiting with them forever. And you're going to attack them? It's similar to the situation between Ukraine and Russia. That's basically what's happened. What would this would entail? Watch this. Those guys are putting themselves in a very high risk. But Fruitcake feels so confident about he's going to be able to hold on to power and manipulate the situation. Yesterday, I know this, his plan is going to crash. But I am looking to see who is going to stand up. Newsom is doing a pretty good job, but only Newsom is not enough. His arrogance and the way he's going about attacking other states. Intuitively, I feel in some ways he's succeeding because not enough people are taking the initiatives that is required to force him to back down. The only thing that's standing up right now between us and this country falling onto a dictatorship and then into anarchy is the Supreme Court. I'm sure some of you probably, we're all intuitive, okay? You can sense what I'm talking about. And also, my fear of the Supreme Court. They've been compromised. When I say been compromised, they were bought by the super rich, the Peter Thiel of this world, Elon, and those people. They've done a pretty good job. I mean, then through Leo, not a connection directly between those justices and those guys. As we know, Leonard Leo is the conduit. That's how those guys have been compromised. Fruitcake, getting that full immunity from Roberts, it wasn't by chance. But the other important thing I feel, guys, I may be wrong. When I say when I may be wrong on approach, okay, Americans, the tools that are required to use to defend ourselves against this, maybe there is a better way. I am not seeing it being used yet. Or somebody saying, maybe it's too early. But I'm not going to say what I think you guys will figure it out. There are tools we haven't used yet. And it's not because the people who are against what Fruitcake is doing are cowards. The only people who will get it, I'm sure some of you who are from the military probably feel that way, okay? People like Fruitcake, they don't walk away. You have to remove them. And the protest, during the protest, I've seen people with the right placards. I was hoping there would be more. Some of them were read, impeach and remove. I was hoping there would be more of those. I'm not disappointed, I have to be careful how I put this. Well, there's an ingredient missing in this. Okay? And even if no action is taken, he's got to understand there are perils here. And that's what they're not seeing because that's what scares them. Every time he does something, the only way he backs down is if it threatens the economy and his pockets. Because if the economy goes to tanks, he's going to lose money. He's going to be poor. He doesn't want to be poor. Among other things, that anything that can affect him directly and his family, that's what's going to force him to back down. They're going out. They have Fruitcake Mobile now, among other initiatives they're going to do. They are so confident. They have a new grief every day. By the way, that Fruitcake Mobile stuff is the usual licensing thing. Intuitively, I don't know. You guys probably know, but I have not done any research because, I'm not quite sure. Well, I guess in the different technology magazines, I would find more information, or probably in finance, the website, I'd probably find out who's backing that stuff. It's not them. This idea was brought up to them so they can use their name, the usual name licensing stuff. Put their name in all over the place, buildings, whatever. It's the same thing. They think they're going to have a tech company. That thing, like I said yesterday, it's going to fail. Okay? It's not a grift. But to go back to my point, they're going to continue doing these things. It's not a fruitcake steak, but once you see the kids of those people who want to be dictators, or they are dictators, what Eric did yesterday, that's what they do. And the other brother too. The behavior, the pattern is there. And when I saw that last night, when I saw the clip of Eric making that statement, they would clobber Mexico, it confirmed my fears because I recognize the attitude. And I don't want anyone to lose hope. I have hope, but like I said, I only know one way of combating these people. Otherwise, it takes a very long period and a ton of damages are done. You know what? Given it's only been 6 months, if that long, okay, since he's been in the people's house. The damage he has caused in this short period of time, our economy, our brand, our psychological well-being, the migrants who are helping us, and this country prosper every day, medical research, and a whole bunch of other things. Right now, we cannot evaluate how bad things are. And let me tell you, it's on video. By the time this is over, it's going to be really, really bad. And for us to recover, they may have to have some kind of new approach to help us get back up and get going again. Because his approach is to dismantle everything. And then, just like he did with the economy, what he did, he declared that the Obama deal with Iran was not good. He destroyed it. Right now, he's failing. And then he wants to go to war with Iran. Because he's failing, he's making all kinds of threats. Empty threats. I think Congressman Massey, who's standing up and said he's going to bring a bill to the floor to make sure that he can't start, Fruitcake cannot start a war without their consent. It's going to succeed because Democrats will definitely stand behind it. And that's what he knows as well. A lot of things that he does, okay, like I said, it's a big fake. It's because he was over his head. He realized that, so he bailed out. Yes, he didn't want to leave the meeting without something to show. That's why he signed some kind of agreement with Great Britain, and among other people, it's baloney. All a lie. I don't see us. I mean, we're going to help Israel shoot down missiles that are heading there, and that's another thing we have to be careful about. Netanyahu is going to poke people and hide behind us. That's his tactic. I'm not saying Iran has that. I mean, guys, I still remember the Marines we lost in Beirut in the 1980s. I still remember that afternoon where I was. Exactly where I was. I was living in New Rochelle on Slocum Street, where I was, I was on the second floor of the house. The bedroom where I was in, like, was on my right-hand side. The bathroom is right in front of me. I was right in that little hallway. I still remember where I was when we lost over 200 Marines. I was shocked. So I don't have much love lost. Anything that happens to those mullahs, the Iranian people are suffering. But the reason why I gave you this example is to show you I have no love lost, because we lost over 200 Marines that day. Okay? But Netanyahu, he's proving that he's no better. Now the Israeli people are suffering. I'm not saying Iran is not a danger to the world. But Trump, they're using one another, Trump and Netanyahu. Okay? They're all con artists. And they have their agreements. Hopefully, I don't think this is going to happen. I'm hoping somebody will remove Fruitcake before this spins out of control, because he's surrounded with dummies, and he's no better, because everything comes from what he wants, his needs. But I predicted 3 ways we may get out of this. Let's hope the time is shorter rather than later. But regardless of what happens, we will get out. I was terrified yesterday when I read it's an extract from Project 2025, and I read it yesterday and I panicked. It reminded me, when something, it's not that you don't know something, but it's condensed. It's like bullets. I should have, I should have selected it. It's on not in my download, but on my screenshots. I got it on screen, but it described what the dictator does in order to get the military on his or her side, to oppress people and stay in power. When I was reading that yesterday, you guys, I was shocked. I panicked, although I knew we're going to get there. I don't know how many of you read the Project 2025. I have the book. After I read that thing, I copied from, I believe it was Twitter, the steps that they have in the book, and I went in the book that I bought that translated it, that explained everything about the project, the whole Project 2025. I'm like, oh my God. And the thing is, Fruitcake is already testing the steps in California. It is really scary, guys. But anyway, don't panic. Things are going to be very difficult in the coming months. But we will get out of this. They're not very bright. If you notice the way, in order for him to bail out yesterday, he was making threats or implied threats. His family are threatening people. he and his cabinet members and everyone around him, people are sick and tired of them because all they know how to do is bully people and threaten them. It's not going to work. And you know something? And Rachel Maddow last night, she repeated some of the stuff that I have been saying to you. Fruitcake doesn't make any friends. He doesn't know how. He doesn't build anything. He destroys everything. And if you see the pattern, I was shocked. Let me know if you guys, any of you who watched Maddow last night. I'm like, that sounds like me. You know. And that's one good thing. He's not building. He's not bringing people to his side. And if anything, he's pushing people away. That's one thing that gives me hope as well. But we will get out of this. But Rachel Maddow said the same thing I've been saying. Made me feel good a little bit. Having said that, as you guys heard, I'm going on the next, sorry, and the next topic, easy picking. What I mean by easy picking is the way they are going about our fellow immigrants who are here and working hard. The criminals, who cares? That too, I would be surprised if it lasts more than 2 months. First of all, Fruitcake is already wavering and is not sure of what he wants to do, whether he wants to stop deporting some of those who are in critical jobs or what he should do. He reversed himself again, by the way. He said, don't touch people who work in the hotel industry and those places and the agriculture industry, because he realized he was shooting himself in the foot. And then he reversed himself again. That's where we are today. But, and they're going to continue. The reason why I call it that way, easy picking, those poor people, they're going to continue to abuse them. But at the right time, and to what degree I feel, Stephen Miller is going to have to go into hiding because he's going to receive so much hate and all generated by him. And you know something? Fruitcake is using him the way he used Elon. Elon is just realizing how this guy was able to use him. At least, you know, Elon was hoping for equally use each other. And now he realized he lost a ton of money. He's getting the blame. People who worked for him, they're complaining to him, by the way. Things are not comfortable anymore. Oh, there's another thing. I'm seeing Palantir in front of me as I'm saying this. People are protesting Palantir. I'm not surprised. I just saw it this morning. I'm like, oh, I knew this was coming. Okay. They are protesting in their offices. All these people will be gone. But Stephen Miller's future, I predicted a long time ago, because at the time I'm like, there's no way Americans will give this guy a second chance in the White House. If any place he's going to go, it's prison. And I still see bars. But one thing I'm comfortable with, Stephen Miller, for abusing all those immigrants, deporting their kids, separating them from their families, there's going to be a price for it. I'm not sure how it's going to work. But him and his family are going to be on so much fear. The money, I know his parents have money. He doesn't have as much money as the other guys. He's probably worth maybe about 20, 30 millions. Okay. Please, somebody, if anyone knows, I'd be interested to know, but I doubt it's over 50. Yes, he has a comfortable life, a lot more than I do. You know what I mean? But the reason why I'm saying this, he's going to have difficulties having securities around him and protecting him and hurting so many people. The easy pickers, they are going to be blowback for that. That's my prediction. And as far as the Diddy trial, I'll go to the Diddy trial. Let me see if there are some questions here. I'm sorry, I had to focus on what I was getting. Okay. Zion Christian says, keep an eye on those flag cameras. Those LPR license plate readers popping up all over cities. Oh yeah, apparently will try to integrate and take that data. Yeah, your vehicular movement are being tracked. Oh, absolutely. I spoke about that, but thank you for posting this, Zion. Oh, absolutely. Everything they have, well, getting your plate number is not a big deal. We know Fruitcake will just demand it from the Motor Vehicle Bureau. Or if you don't acquiesce to their demands, they want, in fact, that guy, Sean Duffy, threatened states with, they like New York and those places where they have, I forget how they call it, they welcome immigrants and try to protect them, help them get on their footings. If your city does that, they will not give you federal money that they usually give to every place every yearly. So they're going to start threatening all kinds of stuff. Meg Marriott says, Milo, it seems that Netanyahu, Putin, and Trump may all go down around the same time. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I mentioned something like that a while back. Yes, I agree with you, Meg. It is very possible because right now, who's giving Putin oxygen? Trump. Who's giving Netanyahu oxygen? Trump. Okay. And Netanyahu is using both of them. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm bad with time, but I won't be shocked. So you're right, Meg Ryan. Arlene Lovell says Stephen Miller can go to El Salvador, maybe he'll be accepted there. I agree with that. Oh yes, Summer Vago 81 says, I saw a lot of signs, a lot of Stephen Miller signs, like Elon on Saturday. People know what he is. Oh, absolutely. The past couple of weeks has been worse for him. That's why I'm saying to you, they're not smart. If they were smart, there are certain things. That's why other people in other administrations, they don't do these things. Because there are ramifications. People will take revenge. Because, in America, that's the worst thing you can do. In other countries, dictators, they take over and they last a long time. In this country, I don't feel it's going to happen. And if it happens, it's not going to last long. I'm talking months if it happens. Because, oh my God, Americans are not going to just get up and walk away from their democracy. Forget it. They can't talk. Are you serious? And that's the two major things. And that's so scary. That's what frightened me yesterday when I told you guys I read a part of that book where they describe how Fruitcake was going to take over the military. And I look at the bullet points. Papa Doc was flashing right in front of me. And his kids are threatening people. Baby Doc never threatened anybody. If anything, he wanted friends. That's one good thing I can say about him. At least when I was there, we were all young. He was probably maybe I think he's a year older than I was, or two. Okay. He used to come to the neighborhood because we had a band, and he wanted to be, he wanted to be friends with everybody and be part of the band, So, but that guy, he was not pretentious. He wanted to be one of the guys. He tried really hard, but I left. Thank God I came here. I left this whole mess. But he wasn't like that. But if you look at, that's why I call those guys Ude and Kusei. They are behaving exactly like Ude and Kusei. And we know what happened to Ude and Kusei. They're not thinking. And other people from government never did those things in American, because a dictatorship in those countries lasts 20, 30 years. And after that, they can find a way to escape to with all that money. In America, where are you going to go? And once you're out of power, yeah, they have no idea over the can of worm that they're opening. And that's why I call them Ude and Kusei. I'm talking about Dan, Don, and Eric. They are playing with fire, but they are so confident about where they are. They won't listen to me if I were to tell them, well, they should, but that's why I call them, I'm sending a message, careful. But I'm a psychic, he's a lowlife. He doesn't know anything. We will see. If they're not careful, this has a very, very bad omen. Let's put it that way. Okay. Oh, thank you, Craig Dixon, for posting this. I have it on my notes, but I got carried away with this whole fruitcake stuff. Craig Dixon says the VA hospital have a Trump BS directive denying care to LGBTQ people, single veterans, and veterans who live in rural areas. They are letting doctors refuse care to them according to political beliefs too. Oh no, there is one big thing you left out. Their religious belief. If they are Catholic or something like that, they're going to deny them. The doctor can deny them care. LGBTQ people, and there is one thing that's gone unsaid. People of color. Okay? And let me tell you, let me see if I wrote it down, okay? I will read it to you guys. A farmer said, no, I didn't write it down, but I'm going to paraphrase, okay? A farmer said what this administration is doing is basically, I don't remember exactly how they say it, but tantamount to racism, okay? They help people if you are a white male. If you're not, they weed you out. A farmer said that. I don't know if you guys saw it, okay? And that's why I'm saying to you, if the farmer said that, I wouldn't be surprised if minorities, they go and looking for care, they are denied care. The doctor can just deny them care. Or they just, you complain about being out of breath and they tell you there's nothing wrong with you. And then before you leave, you hit the front door of that clinic, you drop, dead of a heart attack. Yeah. I forgot to say it because sorry about that, but thank you, Craig, for posting this. I'm going to get, but yes, it's infuriating what they are doing, but it's going to come back to bite. Okay. Let's see. As far as PDD is concerned, I better say that now. Like I said before, the government would be able to close the deal on him when it comes to racketeering. That was my prediction. According to lawyers, I told you guys I watched a couple of them. I find very good from a lawyer's point of view. Intuitively, I feel they're good. And one of them who has been very critical of the government, screaming her head off, where's the beef? Meaning that the government wasn't making the case for a RICO case. And yesterday, during the summation or summary, I don't know what that is. I don't know which one is correct, the correct way of saying it. They closed the deal by showing how Diddy used his enterprise to coerce people, all kinds of stuff, to commit crime in order for him to do his whatever it is that he does, his pornographic thing. To me, he should have been a pornographer. I'm not saying I don't have anything against pornographers, instead of what he was doing, but I don't see how he's going to get away. I will let you guys know once the jury starts the deliberation, but this does not bode well for him at all. Okay, let me see if there are more questions. Biden is Tamara. The reason why I'm reading it seems like that has to do with healthcare for vets. A lot of us have worked for several agencies and local, state, and federal government. We know who comes and who get. Wow. Who get and come, etc., and are reported. Oh, that's not okay. But anyway. Oh, I'm sure you guys have plenty of data on everyone who have used you have to justify, that's the right way to go about showing what kind of work that you do. But you collect a ton of information that way. That's why a lot of people, more privacy. I'm scrolling up to see if there are more questions. Really, that's a good point about Vince not holding the MAGA base the way Trump does. I don't feel, lady is going to be right. I don't feel anybody is going to be able to, well, it's been a known fact that MAGA is not transferable. And, I told you guys, he would be losing MAGA too. Not all. There is a small percentage that's going to stick with him no matter what. It feels, there is a poll that's out, okay? And when it comes to the big bill, yeah, they don't like it. Declaring war, they're not into it. Fighting, in fact, according to report, there is a major, or at least the potential for a war in MAGA world. If Fruitcake were to attack Iran, okay? So he's losing ground among MAGAs as well. And one thing I have to mention, Senator Tina Smith confronted the senator, I forget Mike Lee. I was rushing to say I forgot his name and then it flashed in front of me. Mike Lee from Utah. She confronted him over what he said, making joke about the death and two injured, and two lawmakers who lost their life, and two were critically injured. He was making fun of it. I think that was the right thing to do. And according to her, she said, he's not used to people standing up to him. I was not surprised when I read she said that. He's arrogant. And he's a pathological liar too, just like Fruitcake. He wants to cut Social Security or do away with it, give it to other people. And then once he was confronted with that, he's on video saying it. And he denied, oh, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, but in front of a whole bunch of donors, he said he was going to get rid of, move Social Security to privatize Social Security. Having said that, thank you everyone for spending time with me. Thank you, chat managers, for your help. I appreciate it. If anyone would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video, psychicmedia.com, or please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. We can negotiate a time that's good to talk. If you like the channel, please subscribe. If you're not a subscriber yet, I'm trying, help me get to 50,000. I would appreciate it. And please give me a thumbs up. That will help me a lot. Raven Nicholas says, will healthcare workers strike over this? There is potential for a nationwide strike if what Fruitcake is doing, if he continues to do some of the stuff. It's not only going to be healthcare workers. It's going to be the entire country. Yeah. So we're going to see how that plays out. That's going to be interesting. Joe Tai says American Bar. Yes, sues Trump. American Bar Association and other lawyers, entities, like law firms and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yes. And they generated a 93-page lawsuit. They are suing everyone and everything, even their dog. Even Fruitcake's dog is getting sued. So, but to me, guys, I mean, it's good to sue them. It's if, and like I said, I don't trust the Supreme Court. Okay? I'm not saying, the only reason why they won't give Fruitcake a pass is because they are terrified. And Thomas and Alito, they're stupid enough to think they are above everything. Thomas think, oh, I left slavery behind and they will never enslave me again. Mm-hmm. Let's see how that works out if Fruitcake, was successful. I mean, he should see what Eggshade is doing. Does he think what Eggshade is doing is just for fun? Removing the name of African Americans who have contributed immensely to where this country is? I can't stay, I already said goodbye, so we'll talk about that tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow unless something major happens later. I'll be back. Till then, bye.